This perp back with another video, and I just got done checking out the first 3 episodes of Y the Last Man. I have a lot of interesting takes with this series. I have no idea about the source material, what it's based off. Like, I'm just going into it, just watching it blindly, and this is just my quick little take on this series. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at perpminder420. Getting closer to 2K. I can feel it now. I'm going to see if I can push out as much content so I can get there before the end of the year. But anyways, let's get into Y the Last Man in these first 3 episodes. So, to kind of break it down to you what the premise of this show is, it's pretty much like an end of the world type of scenario, or just like a pandemic. And what happens is all the men start to just die. Boys too, kids end up dying as well too. This is where the first episode kind of introduces you to this world and these characters. You get this timestamp of 3 weeks later. There's this one guy that's alive still. We don't know exactly why that is. You do get your answers later on in like episode 3, where they kind of start to explain certain things. But overall, I have a lot of issues with this whole entire show and just how they set things up. Let's start with episode 1, where they kind of give us a flashback on things before it happens. You get introduced to all these different characters, like Jennifer's character works for the president. You have Y, or Yorick, which is a weird ass name. He has like a pet monkey. He's into doing magic. I don't know, it's really weird. The sister, though, I'm talking about Yorick's sister, is very interesting. I feel like she's one of the very few characters that I can say has an interesting kind of story, and I don't know where they're going to go with it. She has this affair with some other guy that's married. That kind of goes left. She ends up killing this guy. And if it wasn't for this whole thing kind of just blowing up with all these men just dropping dead, bleeding out, and just complete chaos, she would have been a lifer. She would definitely been doing 25 to life, without a doubt. Anyways, another character that's interesting is Nora, and just her and her daughter, and just how this kind of affects her, how she always seems to be getting abandoned. And just, there's things to like about this show, but where it starts to kind of break its own rules, and it just doesn't really make sense that all the men are dead, excluding like 2 people. There's a trans character named Sam, which is just, here's where I'm going to have like a controversial, it shouldn't really be controversial, but I know people are going to try to take this and probably spin it and call me phobic or so. I'm not in any shape or form like transphobic. That doesn't make sense to me at all. But anyways, you're saying that this Yorick guy is the last man alive, but yet there's another dude that can easily help repopulate the whole entire planet. That's why I said, just a lot of the explanation on just how everything works, and just how a lot of this is genetic, it's really sloppy to me, in my opinion, and it just doesn't really make sense. Other than that, the acting is pretty flat. There's no one performance that just really sticks out to me. It definitely just seems like another kind of generic show where they're just going to have a bunch of stuff happening, and they're going to rush through a lot of explanation. There are some things that are interesting, like the whole Jennifer kind of just stepping up and becoming the president, knowing that, that's a lot of responsibilities, and keeping the secret of her son, which is Yorick, that becomes a revelation in episode 2, not too many people know about his existence, and that could cause a lot of chaos because a lot of people would feel some type of way and probably try to challenge Jennifer and her power. So I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't really feel like there's anything in these 3 episodes that really made me say like, oh man, this is going to be a really dope show, or nothing really is really catching my attention or grabbing my attention, because there's a lot of times, even in the first episode, where it's just a lot of building up characters, but they're not interesting. Their backstories aren't really interesting. It's kind of really typical, and they could have done a better job overall of kind of showcasing just things becoming chaotic. Look at a show like The Leftovers. I still think The Leftovers has shown the best way of like a catastrophic event happening, and you just see people just in absolute chaos. And even to the Walking Dead, to an extent, has done things better in this regard. Regardless of how you feel about current seasons that are going on or previous seasons, I'm just talking about like the first season. It doesn't do a really good job of building up this world at all. And I feel like it's one of those cases where it's just, they want to tell a social message. I'm not gonna go say it's woke, because not everything is woke. It's just bad writing overall, and they could have done a lot more with this series to get me more connected with certain characters, but there's just so much disconnect, and I just feel like what they're building up towards is just going to kind of fall flat within this first season. But if you like this, let me know in the comments below. Are you a fan of the actual source material? Is it playing pretty close to it? Because I kind of had to look into this a little bit, and there's certain things that are different from the comic, obviously, or the graphic novel. But anyways, that's just been my short take on these first 3 episodes. Let me know how you feel about it. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.